everyone. Hello. How's everybody? Welcome to my Facebook Live. Today is Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. Thank you for watching. We're going to do some really fun projects tonight. We're going to feature a couple different sets, but mostly the Hippest Hippo set, and I'm going to show you how you can earn that set for free, which is what I did, and then make some really fun projects with it. So I'm just going to give everybody a second to hop on, make sure I come up on Facebook. Okay, I can see myself. And good. Great. Okay, we'll just give it one more minute and then we're going to get started on the projects. I hope everybody had a nice 3-day weekend if you were off, and a happy 4th of July holiday. It was really nice here. The weather was good. We had a nice weekend. Grateful for that. It was really fun. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. So I think I'm going to start just by turning my camera around right away, and we'll get going on our projects. Okay, make sure I have enough room. Okay, so on the first, the new catalogs came out. We have our mini catalog, which is July through December, and now I'm able to open it and show you some of the cute things in here, and we're going to start using some of these cute things and make a lot of really fun projects. You can see there's a lot of Christmas in here, some fall stuff, some pumpkins, some really cute Halloween things are in here. So I'm excited about all the projects with this new catalog. And the other thing for the next 2 months is Celebration. And the nice thing about the Celebration catalog is everything in the Celebration catalog is free, and these are things you can earn free with a purchase. So we're going to be using this Hippest Hippo set today, and I got that free with the $50 purchase, and the matching dies, and I got that free with the $50 purchase. Also from this catalog tonight, I'm going to be using some of this Rings of Love designer series paper that I got free with the $50 purchase. And there's lots of other fun things in here, stamp sets, different color shimmer paper. This kit is super fun. We're definitely going to make some projects with this. These tree light dots dies, which are free. Get a little Christmas going pretty soon. That's an adorable set. This flower paper and stamp set, lots of fun things that we can do with this. So tonight's projects, we're going to make some cards with the Hippest Hippos dies. We've got this one, which says you're always on point. This cute little make a splash one. This one that says you're totally awesome, and we're bringing in some other sets with that. And then I made this cute little packet to hold some aloe vera and some suntan lotion. All right, so let's get started with our first project. And the first one we're going to do today is the hippo one. All right, so again, like I said, we're using the Hippest Hippos stamp set, and we're going to use the dies that go with it. And these dies are really fun because look at all these fun little accents. We've got little sunglasses, little water, a snorkel set, just a little propeller for the boat, flowers, hearts, all kinds of fun stuff with this die set, a little boat, wash tub. So we're going to use a lot of the stuff that was already in there. In addition, we're going to use a die for the zigzag, and this is one of the border sets that I use a lot, and we just use this die right here to cut out a really cool border for this. Now, this paper, the designer series paper, was from the set that I just showed you in our catalog, and that's just a fun paper. And you can see it's got the mint macaron and the poppy parade print. Even the other side is really pretty too with the flowers. But this is the side we're going to use. So we're going to start with our normal 8.5 by 5 1/4. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 5 1/2 square to 4 1/4, and this is Poppy Parade cardstock, just folded in half. And then I've cut a piece for the inside, which is 5 1/4 by 4 of just the basic white, and then a little scrap of that DSP. So we'll put that together a little bit later. And let's start by stamping our hippo friend. Okay, and this little hippo is a ballerina. So we're just going to use our stamp set right this and stamp it in Memento. Then we're going to color it. Sometimes I'm not a super fan of the cartoony ones, but this set I thought, oh, it's just really cute. All right, so we just stamped that in Memento, and then we're going to go ahead and color that. And I'm using the Smoky Slate blends for the hippo, and I'm going to use the dark and the light Smoky Slate. And I'm just going to start with my dark and just kind of go around the edges, just places where I want it to shade a little bit darker, maybe some tips of the ears. And I think that's about it for the shading. And then we'll go in with our light and kind of blend it all in so it looks good. This one I decided, I think we're gonna make the tummy a pink tummy for our cute little ballerina hippo. And just get this blended in right here and do the arms. Super easy coloring, right? Nothing to it. Although I do tend to color outside the lines. And our cute little ballerina shoes. It looks like this is on point, right? Okay, so then let's use, let me close these up so they don't dry up. We're going to use Flirty Flamingo, which is a very light color, and we'll do the tummy of the hippo, like that. And the little hippo fingernails. I should probably be using the other side of this. That's the bullet side as opposed to, whoops, no, that's supposed to be gray. My bad. Let's put this part in gray right here, and we'll actually use the bullet tip side this time. See if I can stay on the lines a little bit better. Okay, that looks good. Now, I think we're going to go back with the Flirty Flamingo and just add a little bit of pink to the ears. And then I'm going to take the Poppy Parade that matches our paper and just do the toe shoes in that color. And I'm doing that because I want to match the skirt and the umbrella that we're going to cut out. Okay. So that part is done. The other thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp this little hippo again with the skirt. And I'm going to do the skirt in this little polka dot with the Poppy Parade. So let's stamp that again. And all I need is the skirt, so I don't have to do the whole hippo, right? Because all I want is to cut out the skirt. So I've done that just like that. And then I'm going to just cut that with a pair of scissors. And I'm just going to cut right on the edge of the skirt. That way our little skirt can match the umbrella. We want our hippo to have coordinated accessories, right? And then we're going to die cut the hippo out with the dies. There's 3 little hippo shapes in this die set, and we're using all of them tonight. So we're going to cut this one out with the dies. And we're going to cut out the umbrella out of the same paper with the die. This is very skinny, so I'm having a hard time just gripping the edge. But I think this is going to look really cute. It's almost like paper dolls. You guys remember playing with paper dolls as a kid? Of course, they already came with the thing. You didn't have to cut them out, but I don't think you had to cut them out. I think they were just like punch out, right? So that's fun. So we're going to dress up our hippo. So there's the skirt for our hippo. And then we'll just take this other piece and run it through the die cutting machine. So I'm going to use the mini machine for this. And this is one of our hippo dies right here. And let me get my postage tape. And I'm just going to line this up so it just cuts around the edge of our hippo. You got to love when there's dies with the set. It just makes everything so much easier because it only takes 2 seconds to run it through your die cutting machine. Okay, so hippo's ready to go. And then, sorry, I bumped the camera. We're going to take the umbrella and cut it out of this Poppy Parade DSP so we have cute little polka dots on our umbrella. All right, and let me move this flat and just run this through. Hold on, I don't think I have that lined up right. My plate's starting to warp. I may be using it too much, right? Okay. I put some nice firm pressure on the plates to cut through the paper. And here are our pieces. Look at the little umbrella, isn't that cute? All right, and then let's see how we did with cutting out our hippo. All right, she's all ready. So now we can start assembling the card. Okay, so we're gonna start by taking this piece of plaid DSP, and we'll just use a little bit of seal to adhere it to the front of our card. Okay, and then we're gonna take that zigzag that I cut out of the Poppy Parade and kind of put that on the bottom as our border. And you can see I made it a little bit big, and I'm just gonna go to the edge of the DSP right here. Go a little bit lower. And then we'll just cut off the rest. See if I can cut in a straight line. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, now I use the layering circle dies that I pretty much use all the time to cut out of the mint macaron that matches and the white. So I'm just going to adhere that together, and then we'll put our hippo friend on it. Let's adhere this. Yeah, that's I think what I did with the hippo. Let's put her skirt on first, right? So I'm just going to use a little bit of the Tombow liquid glue and just a couple dots here to go ahead and put that skirt on. I'm just going to press it down for a minute. And now she's all dressed. Okay. And I'm just going to put some seal on the back of her. And we'll have her kind of dancing in the middle. All right, I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop this up in the middle. Like that, and then we'll use another dimensional to attach her cute little umbrella. Right like that. And then lastly, we're just gonna stamp our sentiment, and we're gonna put "You're always on point." So I've got my stamp for that, and I'm gonna stamp that in Poppy Parade to also coordinate. So ink that up. And then we'll attach that to the little scallop circle cut out of the mint macaron. And we'll pop that up as well onto our card. Okay, what do you think? Cute? Our little hippo girl, isn't she cute? All right, for the inside, all we're doing, because we have dark cardstock on the outside, is just adding a piece of the white, basic white cardstock to the inside so we can write whatever we want on the inside. And like I said, just a little strip of this designer series paper that I had left over. And that's it. That's our first card. Super quick and easy. I might put a dot of glue underneath. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that just to make sure that the little umbrella is going to stay on. And I just used a very tiny dot of glue. I'm very messy with glue, so I don't want to use too much. Okay. All right, cute, right? I hope y'all like this card. And we're ready to go on to our second card. And so this one, next one we're going to do is the Make a Splash card. And we're going to start by doing a little bit of watercoloring with this card. So let me get our pieces out. We're also going to use tonight this Sunny Splash kit, which is cute because it has the little kind of old-fashioned bathing suits. Well, maybe they're not old-fashioned. I guess those could be modern bathing suits too, right? But this has really cute sentiments on it. So on this card, we're going to use the Make a Splash sentiment. All right, so here are our pieces. Lots of little tiny pieces for this one, and I might have overdone it with this little splash cutouts with the die cutting. All right, so let me move all the little pieces out of the way. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and do our watercoloring because that's going to take a minute to dry. And so I have our fluid watercolor paper, and this is 5 by 3 3/4, this paper. Okay, so I'm going to take, let's do the sky first, and I'm going to use my favorite sky color, which is Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to go ahead and get some ink on one of my blocks and take my watercolor painter and squeeze out some water. Takes a minute to prime this. There we go. There's a couple drops, and just kind of swirl it around so it's going to be nice and light, but we kind of want it light. And I'm just nothing fancy here. I'm just going straight across just to add a little bit of background. I think I'm going to have to stamp this again just to pick up a little bit more color. Maybe just another dot of water. Okay, and that looks pretty good for the sky. Nothing crazy, right? Then I'm going to just take a baby wipe and wipe off my block, and we're going to do the same thing for the grass, and I'm using Granny Apple Green to do our grass background. So I'm going to just wipe this off my block and then clean off my brush a little bit. Just run some water through and clean that off. I think I permanently stained it blue, so it's always going to have that little blue tint on this brush, but I don't think it's going to come off. All right, so let's switch colors. And we'll do Granny Apple across the bottom. I think we got a lot on that time, so hopefully we don't have to re-ink it. And again, a little bit of water. I might have put too much water this time. And again, just going across the bottom. I love how vibrant and bright this Granny Apple Green is. It's just so pretty. And that's it. That's all we're going to do, right like that. Okay? So we're going to put this aside now and just let it dry for a minute. And then I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. And it should only take a few minutes for that to dry. In the meantime, we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I'll show you the hippo set we're going to use for this one. Okay. So for this one, let me show you this first. This is our little hippo that we've done, and I've already gone ahead and stamped it, colored it, just like the last one that we colored with the little pink tummy and everything, and then die cut it just to save time since you already saw it once. Okay, then the other thing I'm gonna do is take just a scrap of white and get our sentiment that says Make a Splash, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that. Then what I did for this is I just cut around the word, and I just did that with my scissors. So, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of going around. This card's taking just a minute, right? Because there's a lot of, kind of a lot of steps to this card. Okay. As you can see, this goes by pretty quickly, right? Cut some of this off to make it a little bit easier. Now, normally I would be a little bit more careful and take just a little bit more time, but I want to kind of rush through this so you can just kind of see and not get too bored with it. And that's it. So we've got our sentiment ready to go. Okay. All right, so we can start putting together our little hippo. So that same border die set that I just showed you that we used for the zigzag, it's also got this one that almost looks like clouds. We're going to use it for a little bit of suds. I cut out the wash basin from silver cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and glue a little bit of the suds behind our wash tub. And we'll just kind of find what we think is a good spot. I think right there looks good. And then just cut off the excess. Okay. All right, that's all ready. And I think we're about ready to start assembling. This is almost dry. So I'm just gonna layer. I've started with the base with the balmy blue cardstock. And then originally I started doing this card with Pool Party because I'm using the Pool Party ribbon, but I just didn't like the sky in Pool Party. I didn't think it looked good. So, all right, so let's attach, this feels pretty dry already. Let's attach our watercolor. Okay, that is out. I think I have another one ready to go. Get this one started. Okay, and you know what, let me add a little bit more adhesive because it curves a little bit because it was wet. So let me just add a little extra adhesive to this so it lays flat. So we'll just center this. This is our Granny Apple Green piece of cardstock that we're using. And that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then let's put our ribbon on next before we attach it to the card. And this, like I said, is the Pool Party sheer ribbon, and it is just such a pretty, pretty color. I should use it more often. I love this ribbon. It's just so shimmery, and it just says, it screams summer to me. And pools. Who doesn't love to swim in the summer? Okay, so we have our bow. We'll clip this off. And then we're ready to do the rest of the assembly. So now that we have our ribbon tied behind, I can go ahead and adhere this to the front of the card with some dimensionals. Okay. All right, and we'll put that right in the center as well. All right, we've got our card base pretty well. Now the next thing we're gonna do is let's glue our little hippo behind here. And I kind of want her a little bit on an angle, kind of with her tail showing, kind of coming out like that. So we'll just glue her like that, and then we're just gonna pop this up on the card. And we'll put that right about here. And then we want to accessorize her as well. So I cut out of Bermuda Bay from the little die set, her snorkel and her mask. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my little glue, my Zig glue pen for this, because it's very skinny. And I don't think I could do it with the Tombow. I would get glue everywhere. So we'll put her little mask on and her snorkel. And let me just hold that down for a minute till it makes sure it dries. We're gonna take some mini dimensionals and pop up a couple of the little grass that I cut out also of that same Hippos die set. And we'll just flip these over and put some minis on the back. and just add a little grass sticking up on the grass that we've already watercolored. And we'll just put these, oops, this one's on backwards. All right, we'll just randomly put these around. And now we've got some little grass accents. Okay, lastly, let's put, I'm gonna use the minis again to pop up our sentiments. And I'll just put a few of them, maybe 4 of them. And we'll put our sentiment right at the top. Right about here. Okay, I think that looks good. Now the last thing we want to do is go ahead and put some of those little, what do you call them? Like water droplets. So let me get my Tombow out again, and I'm just going to put some dots of glue where I want to put some of these, and then we'll just pick them up and put them on. There's one. Trying to grab the ones that are right side up already. And I need a little one, kind of coming out of the snorkel. And then we'll do a set of 3 over here. Kind of the same thing. That's one. Put these, if I can get them right side up. I feel like they're all upside down. And I did manage to get glue on my fingers, even with not using the other one. That one, and let's get one more here. And then we'll just put a couple more. I think I put one here and a couple little ones here. And that should do us. That one. Okay, that one took a minute, but I think it turned out cute. I hope y'all like it. Let me flip this one over. And that's it. All right. You could put a happy birthday or whatever you want on the inside. So that is our second card. I hope y'all like this card. Okay, so the next one, all our cards, none of our cards are simple this week, right? They all have a lot of steps. So the next one we're going to do is this totally awesome one. Let me put a couple of my things away so I can stay organized here. Okay, I think we're reset and ready to go. So I combined this set, the Hippo set this time, with this Waves of Inspiration, and this is a really fun set. And I haven't used it that much, but it's got the wave die on it, which is fun, and it's got these really nice sentiments. We're going to use the You're So Totally Awesome. And then I also have the die set, and it's got a couple different waves and some really nice cutouts for sentiments. It's got birds, it's got clouds. So we're using some of those elements for this card. So here are our pieces for this one. Let's see if I can get that to stand up. Okay. Now, just like before, I went ahead and I pre-did our little hippo, and this is the one that we're using this time of the 3. All right. All right, so this one we're starting with Pacific Point, and same measurements as before, except this one's going to open this way. Our next layer is going to be Balmy Blue, and you can just cut this into a regular rectangle if you would like, and that is 5 1/4 by 4. But I actually used the stitch rectangle die just to add just another little bit of detail around the edges of our card, right? So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and stamp our wave, and we're going to use the Stamparatus for this. You don't have to. They make really big blocks that you can do your stamping on, but I like the Stamparatus because with the big stamps, sometimes you have to stamp it twice if it doesn't totally line up. So, I mean, really the way to do this is to line it up where you want it on your card first. And let me put this down like this. I'll do it like that. And then figure out where I want to put my stamp. So I think I want the stamp with a little bit of a border at the bottom, right about here on my piece. So I'm going to flip this over and pick it up over here. Now I'm ready to stamp it. So I'm going to stamp it with Pacific Point. So I'm just going to take my stamp pad and hopefully, you're able to see this. Let's see, is that in the camera? Kind of. Let me move it up a little bit so you can see how I'm inking it up. And I'm just running my ink pad over the top, and I want to make sure I get enough ink on it. And you're going to see the little layers of ink once we stamp this. It's going to come out really pretty. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over flat and go ahead and press this down really good. And then see if I'm happy with the result. If not, we can go again. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera a lot. And I think that looks pretty good. I think I'm happy with that the way it is. So we're going to stop it here. Let me just put a little piece in here so I don't get ink on my Stamparatus. Okay. Hold on. What did I just do with my... I think something went flying. Hold on. Here it is. Flew way over here. So that came out pretty good, I think, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to layer up our die cuts. And the dies I showed you before, I die cut out of Pacific Point. And the other one I cut out of this really beautiful, like, pearlescent paper. And it's white pearlescent, so it's a little, to me it looks a little foamy, like a foamy part of the wave. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, if I was smart, I would have just used our little sticker paper that goes on the back, the adhesive sheets. But I don't always think ahead like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my glue pen again, just to add glue to this. And I'm going to put my first layer right here in the white. And just press it down for a minute so it sticks and holds. And then I'm going to put some glue on my second layer in the Pacific Point. There are so many things you could do with this set with the waves. It's just such a pretty set. Whoops. Okay, and let's put our other layer on top of this layer. I'll start by lining up at the bottom, I think. And the way it sits is a little offset from the other one, so you have nice layers here, right? So let me press that down, and that's it. That's our wave. I think that looks really cool, right? Okay, so that part's done. All right, again with this one, we're going to tie a ribbon. Before we do that, let's stamp our sentiment. And we'll stamp it in Pacific Point. We're gonna stamp the "You're So Totally Awesome." All right. Okay, now what I did with this card is I ran my ribbon through and attached it to the balmy blue part of the card. Now, I have since run out of ribbon because on the next project that we're going to make, I made like 9 of them over the weekend and I used all my ribbon up. So we're going to cheat a little bit. So I'm still going to run it through behind our label for our sentiment. And we're just going to adhere it to the back of the card. So I'm going to start by putting some dimensionals on here to kind of keep the ribbon on that way. It looks like I have blue all over my fingers, so let me clean that off. All right, so let's put our sentiment right about here. And then on the back, we're just gonna glue the ribbon down. So let me just make a little strip, put it like that. This doesn't have to go all the way across. We can just go to the edge there, put a little strip. And then for the cheating part, we'll just go ahead and tie the bow and put it on. In the meantime, let me pop this up onto our card base. Now that I have the ribbon on, and then we'll just put all the other little pieces on the front of the card. Okay, that goes there. Let's see if I can tie a bow with this one little scrap left over. I don't think I can. I think we are going to do a knot instead of a bow. I need to order some more ribbon. So I'm gonna actually double knot this so my knot looks decent. Like that. Okay. And we'll put that on with a glue dot. Actually, I'm going to use two glue dots, and we'll put that right there like that. And I think that looks just fine like that, as opposed to having the bow. Okay, now let's put on the rest of our accessories. So I cut this little boat piece out of crumb cake, and we're going to put our hippo into the boat. Hold on. Having trouble. There we go. I don't know, is this a girl hippo or a boy hippo? I feel like this one is a boy hippo this time, holding a flower. All right, so let us pop this up onto the card, and then I'm gonna glue the little life preserver onto the front of the boat. And we'll pop up the boat and the hippo where it belongs. And then we're gonna glue down our clouds. And I cut the clouds out of that same die set with the waves. Okay, so there's the boat. And here's our little propeller, and we'll put this on with a mini dimensional, so it pops up just a little bit too. And it's very small. And we'll put this on the back behind the boat. Just a fun little accessory. And then lastly, we just have to put our clouds down, and I think since I have the glue right here, we'll just glue these down. See if I can do that without making a mess. And if you can see these clouds that I cut out from the wave set, you can see they have a little bit of embossing on them. So they have some nice texture on them. So that looks really nice. They're not just plain and flat. All right. And that's it for our little clouds. And there you have it. We are done with card number 3. You're totally awesome. I think that's really cute. Okay, so lastly, I have this little packet, and I showed this at the end of my video last week. So this was inspired by Erica Serwin, and she is one of my uplines, and she makes amazing, amazing projects. And what she did was she used some of the suntan spray and the aloe vera. She had bottles, and she made a cute little bottle holder. And I just thought that was so cute, and I thought, yeah, this is perfect for summer. So this is kind of my take on it, but she inspired this for sure. Last week I showed this, and then I realized, oh, you know what, this paper, this Waves paper, that's retired, so that's already gone. So then I reconfigured it, and this is the one that we're going to make tonight. So I used some more updated papers, and here we go. This is our new project. So as you can see, we're using the wave die again. Let me get out the pieces for that. And then this is our scalloped contours dies, And I used the die from here because I thought this looked like waves, and it's got the little stitching too. And I thought, oh, that's really cute. So I'm gonna cut the waves out of this with the paper for this project right here. Okay, so what I've started with is a 9 3/4 by 5 1/8 piece of thick basic white cardstock. And then I scored it, let's see, I didn't write down what I scored it at, but it looks like 3.5 inches I scored it at right here, and then just folded it up like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is just add some glue to the sides here. And we're just gonna kind of make our pouch that way. So I'm gonna glue it and hold it down for a minute. The other thing I'm gonna do is just take a little staple just for some added strength. And I'm just gonna staple this. And I wanna go in a little bit because I want the staple to be covered up by the paper. So I'm putting the pretty part that's going to show on the outside, and then the other side here, this should be covered up with our paper pieces. So the next thing I'm going to do is, oh, I don't think I cut my Night of Navy pieces. That's weird. We might have to cut that really quick. So on the outside, can't believe I forgot to do that. The Night of Navy cardstock, we have 4 7/8 by 2 1/2 and 3 1/4. So let's just do the 4 7/8, and we'll just cut that. And then it's 2 1/4 and 3 1/4. I'm sorry, 2 1/2 and 3 1/4. Okay. All right, so this will be our first layer of cardstock, and we'll go ahead and adhere those down. I did a couple different layers on this one. So we've done the Night of Navy, and then I'll show you the designer series paper that I used. So we'll center this up, and you can see it covers up the staples nicely. And then we're gonna put another piece up on the top, right like that, okay? Then I have these pieces of, and this is from the Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper set. And this is a new set that just came out. And this set is, I mean, really celebrate everything. It's got everything in here. Christmas, it's a huge set of paper, all kinds of different patterns for all kinds of different seasons. I'm sure I'm going to be using this paper a lot. The other side is not necessarily seasonal, so you can use it for other things. We've got fireworks, all kinds of really fun papers in this pack. And so I've cut these out of one of the sheets. So we'll just put these as our second layer, again, right in the middle, nice and centered. And then we're going to add our waves as the next layer. And what I should have done, which I think I'm still going to try and do, let's see, this is going to be sticky. I'm going to put this on top of my silicone mat for a minute because I already put sticky stuff on it, so it'll come back up. So here's my two layers. I have Night of Navy, and I have the Pacific Point that I cut out with that die that I showed you. So let me attach these layers next. And I'm going to put this one about here. And then this one underneath it, kind of more, I would say, offset this way and to the bottom. All right. Then I'm going to trim off the edges. Then I'm going to tie some ribbon before I adhere it to the rest of the card. Okay, so I'm going to keep it on my silicone mat so it's not super stuck, because before we tie the ribbon, we have to get our Hello Sunshine stamped. Then this ribbon is a little tricky, so I used two different ribbons on this because I liked the way it looked, but it was a little challenging, I'll admit, to get it onto the card. So we'll see how that goes. Now, as you can see, I stamped that just a little bit to the side. So I have a little bit of a white spot. So I'm just going to take my Pacific Point Stampin' Right marker and just put a couple dots to make it so it looks like you can read the whole word. All right, so let's get out our ribbon. So again, I have the same ribbon that I was using, the glittered white organdy ribbon. And then I have the Starry Sky ribbon, and it got all crinkled in the envelope. So I'm just gonna put these together and run it behind our label. Just like that. And I wanna make sure that I leave enough room to be able to tie my bow. So maybe like that. See, this is the tricky part that I struggled with, is keeping the one ribbon in place with the other. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this to kind of hold it all in place. Oops. And that might make it easier. Okay. Hopefully I left enough room to tie the bow. All right, now I'm going to put it where I want it on the card, which is going to be right about here, popped up. And then we'll take the ribbon and run it around the back. And I think I already have some adhesive on there from when I was going to stick it down to the card, so that actually worked to my advantage. Now, to see if I can tie the bow with the two ribbons. Tighten this one up a little. Okay, we're doing all right, right? I think we got it. Just get that other piece tucked in. Oh, I spoke too soon. We almost have it. Okay. My ribbon may have been just a little bit short, but there we go. Now, the fun part about this little ribbon too is you can fray the ends of this ribbon right here. So that is about as good as we're going to get on this bow for right now, but I think it looks fine. And we're ready to finish the rest of this card. So now that we've got the ribbon behind there, we can go ahead and pop this up on our card. And I guess I'm not going to really pop it up. I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it. So let me put the glue on this part. And we'll just attach it like that. Okay, ready for more stamping. So I'm going to take a piece of just basic white cardstock, and we're going to use that same Stamparatus, that same stamp that we used before. And I'm just going to line this up. Let me do like I did before to figure out where I want it exactly. And I think right like that. And I'm going to put a piece underneath because we're going to stamp off and I don't want to get it totally messed up. Okay. You can see it kind of stamped already, but that's not going to matter because it's going to be in the same exact spot. So I'm just going to ink it up some more. That should look pretty good. Pretty. That came out pretty. Can y'all see my fingers? They're completely blue now. I've made a huge mess. Let me just wipe them off really quick with a little baby wipe. Okay, so next we're just going to go ahead and take one of the circle dies and just cut this out because we're going to put it in the scallop circle in the navy. So let me get my circle dies out. I thought, and let me see which one it is. It's this one right here. And I think we want it right about there. maybe a little bit further over. And we'll run it through again. Good. All right, now we've got our circle cut out with our wave. And we're gonna attach that to our navy. Isn't that wave dye pretty? I just love, love, love it. Of course, I love the ocean. Love the beach. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. All right, the other thing we're gonna do is stamp from the Sunny Splash set. We have the little bathing suit. And I just stamped that in pumpkin pie. And I'll show you how easy it is. Just like that. And you get just a cute little bathing suit. Now with this stamp set, there aren't any dies, so you have to fussy cut it. Just grab your scissors and just start going around the edge. This one cuts out really, really fast. I've already cut one, so you don't have to watch me cut. And we can put the final touches on this card. So I'm gonna just pop everything up. Except that I lost my dimensionals. So we'll put this right about here. And then we'll pop this whole thing up, and I'm actually gonna put my dimensionals here so I don't get in the seam. And we'll put that right, I think right here. Let me put it a little bit curved. All right, and then the last thing, we're gonna take some of these iridescent rhinestone basic jewels and just put some of these onto the waves to make it just even that much more sparkly. So I'm just gonna kind of go around in the half wave circle and just pop some of these on here. Maybe we'll do 5 of them. Oops, excuse me, just to make a little bit. Hold on. My thing is giving me trouble. All right, get on there. Okay. And that just adds like another little layer of sparkle. Then we can go ahead and put our aloe vera. And I just got these on Amazon. So I have this cute little aloe vera packet, and then just the banana boat sunscreen that I'm just popping in here. And I think these would be really cute to give to a friend. They can keep it in their purse. If they have a baby in the diaper bag, keep it in the glove compartment. Have you ever gone anywhere and got there and were like, oh, I forgot to put on sunscreen? It's just kind of a handy thing to have, and I think a nice gift to give out. So that is our 4th project. I hope y'all like the projects that we made tonight. Let me show you everything. So this week I'm not doing a make and take special because I'm going to be off for a couple of weeks. But if you order with me, $35 or more, I will send you a spool of the Pool Party Sheer ribbon for free for ordering with me. And keep in mind, if you bump your order up to $50, you'll get to order a free product from the Celebration catalog. So that's the ordering special. Here is the host code for this week. It's MPZPKGQD. These are the projects that we made with some of our free products. I hope you like all the projects that we made. If you would like to have the project measurement and supply sheet, just email me and I'll be happy to email this to you. Reminder, the Sending Good Thoughts from Paper Pumpkin, you can still sign up for that, and that is through July 10th, that ends. So I'm going to be off for a couple of weeks, so I'll see you back in a couple of weeks with my next live, and I want to thank you if you watched live, if you watched the replay on Facebook, or if you watched on YouTube. Thank you so much for spending time and watching this video. I really appreciate it, and have a great rest of the week. Thank you. Bye-bye.